Hi, I'm going to work some problems from Math 126, Section 1.8, numbers 41, 77, and 81. So 41 says solve using the quadratic formula. We have a times the quantity a plus 2 equals negative 1. So let's distribute the a. That's a squared plus 2a equals negative 1. Now to use the quadratic formula, which I've written over here, we need to have our expression equal to 0. So I'm going to add 1 to both sides. We have a squared plus 2a plus 1 equals 0. Now I realize we could probably factor this, not even probably, we could factor this and solve it, but it did say use the quadratic formula. Now I think what might be a challenge for some people is the fact that, notice how the quadratic formula references a, b, and c, but those are just representing the coefficients. So the coefficient to our squared term is a, the coefficient to our linear term, or the x to the 1 power term, is b, and the constant is called c here, and this is what's going to happen with these things. So let's come over here and put it together. Now it's going to be negative b, or negative coefficient to the linear term, or the term with the 1 power to the 1. That's going to be 2. So negative 2 plus or minus the square root of 2 squared, that's b squared, minus 4 times our a is the coefficient for the squared term, that's a 1. And c is our constant, that's also a 1. All over 2 times a is the coefficient for the squared term. So a equals negative 2 plus or minus the square root of 4 minus 4 over 2. That's negative 2 plus or minus the square root of 0 over 2. It's negative 2 over 2, which is negative 1. So the solution of this is negative 1, and we can check that. Negative 1 times negative 1 plus 2, is that negative 1? So negative 1 times 1, negative 1 equals 1. Yes, negative 1, excuse me. Yes, it is. It works. So a equals negative 1. Now let's go on to 77. 77 says solve the polynomial equations by factoring. And we have 27x cubed plus 64 equals 0. Funny thing, I just saw one exactly like this in Hawks. I was doing some problems in Hawks the other day. In the online homework, I saw the exact same problem. So this follows if you have like a cubed plus b cubed, that factors to be a plus b times a squared minus ab plus b squared. That's how you'd factor that down. So think of this as 3x quantity squared plus 4 squared equals 0. That will factor to become 3x plus 4 times 3x, that amount squared, minus 3x times 4 plus 4 squared equals 0. So we have 3x plus 4 times 9x squared minus 12x plus 16 equals 0. Well, the first part's pretty straightforward. 3x plus 4 equals 0. If I subtract 4, 3x equals negative 4. X equals negative 4/3. So that's one of the solutions. And since it's cubed, we're going to have 3 solutions. I probably shouldn't say that because we're going to learn more about that later on in the class. Ooh, some foreshadowing. Now we have our 9x squared minus 12x plus 16. Where is this going to be 0? Well, here we can use the quadratic formula. We can't factor this. This is prime. So our a leading coefficient is 9. B is negative 12, and C equals 16. So x will be equal to negative of negative 12, so it's negative b, plus or minus the square root of negative 12 squared minus 4 times 9 times 16 all over 2 times 9. So x will be equal to 12 plus or minus the square root of, that's going to be 144 minus, now 9 times 16 is 144, and we have 4 times that. So we're going to have 4 times 9 times 16 is 576 over 18. It's 12 plus or minus the square root of negative 432 okay, and then recall that, let's see, 432 divided by 144, it should be 3, yeah. So this is going to be 12 plus or minus, if this was 12 squared, 144 minus 4 times 144, it's going to be the square root of negative 3 times 144. So that's going to allow us to bring that 144 out, 12 plus or minus 12i times the square root of 3, because the negative becomes the I. That's 3 stays under the radical, over 18. And we can reduce the 6 out of the numerator and denominator to give us 2 plus or minus 2i times the square root of 3 over 3. So our solutions are x equals negative 4/3, x equals 2 plus 2i times the square root of 3 all over 3, and x equals 2 minus 2i times the square root of 3 all over 3. Okay. Let's go on to the last one that was asked here, 81. And 81 says, solve the following equations by factoring. Okay. I remember seeing one like this also in Hawks. X minus 3 to the negative 1/2 plus 2 times x minus 3 to the 1/2 equals 0. Now we can factor out of this, both terms have an x minus 3 to the 1/2. Well, let's do the negative 1/2. So it's going to be x minus 3 to the negative 1/2 times x minus 3 to the negative 1/2 over x minus 3 to the negative 1/2. I'm essentially dividing that out, and that's what's up there, plus 2 times x minus 3 to the positive 1/2 over x minus 3 to the negative 1/2. This just has the result of saying x minus 3 to the negative 1/2 times, that's just 1 plus 2 times the quantity x minus 3. So it's x minus 3 to the negative 1/2 times 1 plus 2x minus 6, distributing that 2. So x minus 3 to the negative 1/2 times 2x minus 5. So 2x minus 5 equals 0. 2x equals 5. X equals 5/2. From the x minus 3 to the negative 1/2, well, that's really like saying this is 2x minus 5 over x minus 3 to the half. And which means our denominator cannot be 0, which means we can't solve that. I mean, that's not going to yield a solution, is the denominator. So our only solution is x equals 5/2. Okay, I hope that helps. Let me know if you have more questions. Thank you.